a random Billy Joel love fest for some reason.
I know.
I haven't talked that much about Billy Joel since I was a much younger man.
I know. Well, were you the
since I was a boy? I was the angry young man. That's a great song. We're gonna get into. We're gonna talk about turnstiles on this episode.
Oh!
New York State of Mind.
Such a good song.
That's a great song. That's a great song. So is Say Goodbye to Hollywood.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the original one.
It's got the original. I prefer the Songs in the Attic version, which is on Greatest Hits.
Yes, I actually prefer the Turnstiles version.
Really,
I think
it's a great song regardless. It stands up.
Yes, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like both.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with the Greatest Hits version, so I think that's maybe why I lean towards Turnstiles more a little bit.
But the Greatest Hits version is the Songs in the Attic version.
Okay, yeah. So it's the Greatest Hits Songs in the Attic version that I grew up with.
Yeah.
So when I heard the Turnstiles version, I was like, oh, this is...
It's a little more organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but as we were saying off mic, yeah, I went to see Endgame again today.
I have also now seen Endgame twice.
Yes.
And it's hard not to... So
I guess we should, since we're going to talk about this...
Okay, well let's do a couple of things.
Yeah.
Let's do the intro sooner than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I think actually last time we might have gone an entire hour before introing the show.
Did we even intro last week?
I don't know that we did.
It felt so free and organic that
it was. We just started talking. We just mics rolling, a couple of friends talking Billy Joel, talking Good Place.
Yeah.
But this is What the Fork. I'm Jared.
I'm Jason.
And I'm at LTD_engagement on Twitter.
I'm Jason E. Kyle, Keil, on the Twitter.
And you follow those accounts for some witty-ass banter.
Yep. You can also follow the show at What the Fork Pod. On
also
Twitter and the Instagrams.
On Insta. That may be the first time that I've publicly said Insta, because I actually do not enjoy abbreviating things like that. But please leave your reviews, leave your hopefully 5 stars glowing, just recommending us to your friends and family and neighbors on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, all that sort of thing.
Please.
Oh, I do want to address something real quick. Yes. Since we're in the intro phase here. I want to address the ads because I ran them for 1 week. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. This is me speaking as a co-proprietor of Hoot and Waddle, which is the company that pays for and produces, and it's the umbrella under which all podcasting and publishing that is done by Hoot and Waddle is done. I realized that was a grand sweeping statement after I started it. It's like, all publishing and podcasting is attributed to Hoot and Waddle. I don't know how I turned into Don Pardo there. But anyway, it costs money. And I really almost never bring this up. I started bumping the shows at the end with a little thing saying, hey, if you like what we do, maybe throw a couple of shekels our way on the Patreon and whatnot. But there's costs for hosting the show file-wise. There's costs for the posting and production and the equipment and all that sort of thing. So, if you do like what we're doing, the best way... I'm sorry?
Throw us a Bitcoin?
Maybe.
So I do think you're throwing Jared the Bitcoin. I get nothing.
Well, but the thing is, especially right now, and as we're going to move into a nonprofit model anyway, since we don't have profit, everything goes straight back into the publishing and podcasting programs. None of it goes to me. It's all straight back into stuff. And, it's patreon.com/Hoot and Waddle. There are things that you get. You get pre-swag. You get at the $5 level a month, which is not much, and you get an exclusive podcast every month. which varies from anything from me and my ex talking very stiltedly about Juliet naked to the thing that we did a couple of weeks ago for Independent Bookstore Day, which was a great reading with some of the Hoot and Waddle authors, and anything in between. So there's that exclusive podcast for people who do $5 a month or more, and then it can go up from there. And you can do whatever. But so I tried the ads, and I just fucking hated them. I was like, it put me out of it. I was like, as soon as you mentioned it, you're like, are we doing ads now? What is the? And I listened to our episode that week, and I was like, I can't do this. I can do the organic, me reading an ad, or me like doing an off the cuff ad for something, which I've done before, which we did before for
Chris,
for Phoenix Film Collective. Yeah, well, no, for his Chris Ayres Creative.
Yes.
So that sort of thing would be great too. If you want your small local business advertised, we can do that. And we can do it organically. But I listened to the shows that I aired that week, and I heard ads for Progressive and for Domino's and for random shit that I would never, give money to willingly myself. And I'm like, these have got to go. So I took them off. They're not coming back. It's not worth it to me. I have principles. I unfortunately, it gets in the way of making money. But, so to that effect, if you're interested in advertising on the show, or if you're interested in helping us continue to create that sort of thing, this is not a pledge drive. This is just a little bit of a rant. You can go to patreon.com/Hoot and Waddle and look at what we've got there.
All right.
That was it. Yes. That was me on my soapbox. It's been put away now. No more talk about that for the rest of the show.
All right.
But okay, so back to it. We've each seen Endgame twice now.
Yes. So I guess at this point we need to point out that
there are going to be spoilers. It's spoiler alert. If at this point you have not seen Endgame, hit pause, go buy a fucking ticket, watch the movie, cry, and then come back and listen to us talk about it, because especially we waited a good 3 weeks?
Yeah.
3 weeks. We waited until the spoilery Spider-Man trailer dropped. So, I think we did our due diligence as far as that goes.
The Russo brothers said it's okay.
Right. They said basically as soon as the Spider-Man dropped,
all bets are off.
Yeah. Because again, we've given the spoiler alert. If you haven't turned us off yet, we're going to assume you're cool with whatever we're about to say.
Yep.
It's talking about the aftermath of Endgame and the death of Iron Man. And
let's face it, Thanos cannot demand their silence.
This is true, because he is dust.
Yeah.
But I was going to bring this up. I figured we were talking briefly, and we didn't plan anything. And so it'll be interesting to see where this goes, especially as, I've had a little wine as I was putting together some bookcases, and I'm in a good mood, and all of that sort of thing.
I got to tell you guys, the apartment's really coming together.
It's coming together. It's still hard to walk around in, but it's coming together. Stuff is getting out of boxes. I've battled with IKEA furniture. Yeah, it's great. So, anyway, we were talking about the idea. There are things that we've planned for the summer, which I guess if you hadn't noticed, we took a week off, which was precipitated by
Illness
Jason being sick. Yeah.
My whole family's ill.
And also I was dealing with a lot of shit, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. We'll skip it. Mm-hmm. And so that's the reason for that. But as we were sitting here, as we know, we've got a lot of time between now and when the show drops on Netflix. Mm-hmm. We just agreed upon a schedule.
Yeah. Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. We're gonna scale it back just a little bit. We're not taking a full hiatus, which was the initial plan.
Yeah.
We're gonna take just we're gonna do a less frequent, less what do they call it? Grueling pace.
Yeah.
Not that this is a grueling show. I actually look forward to doing this show.
This is my favorite. Last week was just, oh, Jared. I didn't see you last week at all, and it just broke my heart.
I know. It was...
You're out doing your things. And
yeah, I was like, I really got to get this place together before Jason comes back because I want to impress him. No, there are other reasons, but no, this is something I genuinely look forward to. So I'm glad that we're even keeping like a bi-weekly production schedule for now. Yeah. So we're not taking a ton of vacation time. We're just also we're not going to do a lot of filler episodes either.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the themes in Endgame, especially I was thinking about it as I was watching it today. Because I went to go see it for the second time this afternoon. A lot of the themes in the movie tie into what Good Place is about.
I was in my head, even the first time I was watching it, doing a direct comparison between Thanos and Doug Forsythe.
Like, how so? Please tell me.
Okay, so they each came up with a system.
Yeah.
And they each follow it, like, to the letter.
Yep. Except one system was fueled by mushrooms, and the other one was just...
Well, who knows what kind of wackiness Thanos got onto. I'm just saying, we don't know, what Thanos is tripping on. But Thanos, clearly, it's kind of similar, right? In that Doug Forsythe thinks of a good and a bad place. Mm-hmm. And you have people that are going to go to the good place, and you have people that are going to go to the bad place. And for him, though, it depends on behavior and things like that. Mm. For Thanos, it seems to me that it's much more indiscriminatory. Just a fucking, like, click of the hands and
snap
of the fingers, and half of the universe is not just humanity, but the entire universe is gone. Yeah.
And let's face it, Hawkeye really got the raw deal on this one.
Oh, man. What are the odds that in a family of 5, you're going to be the one left?
Yeah.
Except that it was scripted that way. But that was the first hard thing to watch, was just like, oh no. Because you don't see that in the first one.
Nope.
There's no Hawkeye. There's nothing, and it opens with that. And you're like, oh shit. His family just turned to dust. Mm-hmm. And he does not handle it especially well.
No. He gets a haircut.
He gets a haircut and goes on and becomes basically a mercenary.
Yeah. Quick question. So
yeah.
There was that scene where there was a scene later on where ScarJo, Black Widow, is talking to everyone on their screens, and she talks to War Machine Rhodey, Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
And talking about like being in Mexico City and seeing this scene.
Yeah.
Is he talking about Hawkeye?
He is.
Okay.
Yes. It's very clear to me at that point that he's talking about Hawkeye. Okay. And it was only made more clear to me when he goes to Japan.
Yeah.
Because, he's out there basically, he's essentially doing the
it just didn't seem clear to me from the conversation.
There's a pretty clear, it's a direct comparison to another character whose name is escaping me right now. But kind of like the Punisher, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Kind of like the Punisher in that he is not killing indiscriminatorily. He is killing bad people. Mm-hmm. It's still wrong.
He's Deadpool, but not funny.
He's the merc with a haircut. Pretty much, yeah. So, yeah, it was definitely Hawkeye that they were talking about.
Okay,
that became very clear to me. Now, to break from this for a minute, to get all Marvel nerdy,